Welcome to the Season 1 finale of Miles, Menus, and Mystery, South the Strange. Today, those miles lead us to an American city established by Scottish Highlanders from the north shores of Loch Ness. Join us for clear skies as we paddleboard on the Malajah and even take a swim in Altie's lair. As our day in Darien winds down, Ashley Roberts prepares the last meal of Season 1 at her restaurant, Hey Cuz. To the Highlanders of Scotland, who founded New Inverness in 1736 AD, their valor defended the struggling colony from the Spanish invasion. Their ideals, traditions, and culture enriched the land of their adoption. It is kind of like a synchronicity that
it's weird that New Inverness, the Scots came over, and they've got their water creature, and now Darien and the Malajah River,
has its own. But they've had their own for, I believe sightings date back to before the 1800s, and it 10 feet to 70 feet long.
How far back does the Loch Ness monster go?
Oh, I think the Loch Ness monster
goes, medieval times, right?
Back like pretty far. But
so if you were to make a timeline, it lines up.
Right. But then even back to biblical times, you've got
water creatures, dragons.
Water creatures in the Bible and Job,
I mean, look at the Mosasaurus.
So that's something that's, right, that's something that's always been here.
Water creatures exist.
Right.
But it's very odd that...
The founders...
Not odd, it's interesting.
It's a synchronicity that the Highlanders of Scotland founded this city and it has its own lore.
Absolutely, I would completely agree, 100%. Right. No, definitely. That's fun. So we are going to get out on the water today in the Malajah River and see if we can hang out with Altie, see what he's up to. We're here
on the Malajah River in search of Altie, Darien's own river monster. We've brought our paddle boards today to cut through some of the inlets off of the main river. Cruising the muddy banks here to see if we can have any sightings for our season finale. We haven't seen anything yet, not much even wildlife today. We've seen some bugs, we've heard an animal or two in the bushes, but...
We've been staying near the bank to not get caught up in the ocean current, but not too close because I don't feel like being gator bait today.
And most of the sightings happen as he frolics along the riverbanks.
He emerges, yeah.
We're hour 2 here on the Malajah River. Still no sightings of Altie. But the water's really calm back here in this inlet. Real nice, easy going. And it's a great sunny day, maybe one of our worst since we've
started this journey.
Started Miles, Menus, and Mystery. I feel like it rains anywhere I go with the camera. And
isn't it supposed to rain tomorrow?
And if I go somewhere and my friends have a camera,
it does rain.
Brian and Steph, it also rains. I'm swimming in Altie's lair. It's quite refreshing because it is like 95 today. We are back on the main branch of the Malajah River, somewhere between hours 3 and 4 of paddleboarding, searching for Altie here along the muddy riverbanks. We haven't seen him yet, but we did see a boat named the Marlin Monroe. So we're headed down our second inlet off the Malajah River. This one's a little bit smaller, a little narrow than the last one. I don't know if that's a log or a gator.
You saw that moving too?
Huh?
You saw it moving too?
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I mean, it wasn't Altie, but I think it's just a branch.
Oh, you're talking about that?
Yeah.
Oh no, I saw something over here.
Oh, well, what'd you see over there?
I don't know. That's why I asked you if you saw that too.
Let's cruise down to past where that tree's hanging over the river. All right, we're headed back in from the second inlet back to the Altamaha River. It's about hour 5. Still no sign of Altie.
After close to 6 hours on the Altamaha with no sightings of Altie, it was time to pack up the paddleboards and head to Hey Cuz. Ashley, tell us how you got to Darien.
I am originally from McIntosh County. I was born in Brunswick, which is a hop and a skip away. I've been living in Darien on and off primarily all of my life. My dad lives in Darien. My mom lives in the original, have to say that, Townsend. So now Townsend is the collective of the area outside of the city.
Okay,
Townsend.
cool. How long has Hey Cuz been a thing?
Hey Cuz has been a thing for 2 years now.
How long? Have you been a brick and mortar the whole time?
The entire time of Hey Cuz has been brick and mortar.
That's exciting.
Yes, we came in.
And what? Where does the name Hey Cuz come from?
So Hey Cuz is pretty much a tribute to cousin and family members who have passed.
Okay.
In the South, a lot of us say Hey Cuz.
Yeah.
You don't have to necessarily be our cousin for us to say Hey Cuz. So when I took the name, my cousin Maurice and Tom, who are no longer with us, they will always greet me with a Hey Cuz, and I felt all kind of love.
Oh, I got like all warm and
you know, like you feel that.
Oh, that's so sweet.
So when I decided to come up with the name Hey Cuz, I just wanted that same feeling for the customers to have. So
yeah,
that's just really the basis of Hey Cuz.
That's dope. That's awesome.
So kind of what inspired you to get into cooking and food? And I mean, I take it you were into you had a love for food before Hey Cuz. So.
Right. So it's my therapy. Yeah. To be honest with you, is when I get in the kitchen, I don't think about anything but what I have to do. So cooking for me during COVID, of course, everybody had to find something to do.
Totally.
Right.
And I started off with mobile hibachi, and that funded this idea. And just getting into the kitchen is just the love of it. You know, I don't think about it as work. It's just I get in there and I have 100 orders on the board, and I'm just gonna do it until I get it done.
So you're a one-man show.
Absolutely. Cooking wise on one man show.
Yeah.
The concept behind the weekend is a lot of people are like, why aren't you open more days? But it's just like a limited item.
Right.
If you offered a lot,
it's like, because when I want Chick-fil-A, it's Sundays.
It's
Sundays.
Yeah,
I want
exactly.
You only want
so you know your mind is already fixed on Friday and Saturday. I got to get that Hey Cuz. Because if I don't, I'm going to miss the opportunity.
Yeah.
Wait
so
a
it's
week.
kind of,
And then I'm going to be wanting it all week.
Right, so it's kind of a marketing strategy that I use, but Friday and Saturday, and plus my kids are busy during the week.
Yeah.
Right.
Fridays and Saturdays I have a little downtime. I do sacrifice the Saturdays, but Sundays, still a weekend.
Exactly.
Still a weekend.
What would you say is your number one, like, I don't know, like inspiration behind the menu? Is it mostly seafood? Is it
That's a good question.
Like a little mixture between seafood and American food? What would you consider?
I feel like some days I wake up and be like, I want to try this.
Okay.
You know, I think inspiration comes from what your heart is calling for.
Totally.
You know, because if I come in here and say I'm gonna do what everybody else does, it's gonna be like everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But if I wake up one morning and say, hey, I'm gonna try a pita pizza with Philly cheesesteak on top, that never would come to life.
Yeah.
That came to life like 2 weeks ago for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I should try this. But I think any inspiration on the menu, if you're a chef or a cook, should always come from your heart, and it should be a brainchild that you can't get out your head until you create it. So,
It's an art form, totally.
right. And I think any artist is always gonna go to the drawing board like, hey,
What do you want?
Right, what do you want as a consumer? You know, I can draw me all day. Will you buy that picture?
Right.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
let me do something I think others will buy. So.
Which is why you don't eat the Philly salmon.
Right, exactly, because I don't want to change that art.
And the Philly salmon has cuz sauce, right?
It has cuz sauce.
How did the cuz sauce, is that 2 years old as well, or?
That actually is like 3.5, 4 years.
Okay.
And it was a mistake.
Really?
It was a mistake. My husband and I were eating dinner, and I fried salmon for the first time. And I was like, I'm gonna make some sauce for it.
Yeah.
And I just
threw some stuff together. Yeah.
I think this will go good. Now, of course, the consumer was my test audience, and it always stuck.
So who's your main test audience?
my kids.
Nice.
My family they are, yes, no, I don't like this. And I don't get upset when they say they don't like something.
Totally, yeah, no, exactly.
Because that makes me better, even in the business.
Yeah.
If somebody say, hey, this wasn't X, Y, and Z,
Yeah.
how can I get upset with that?
Yeah, exactly.
Because you are the consumer, so
Yeah.
I should be here to appease you.
What is your favorite menu item right now?
I'm a chicken wing girl.
Okay.
Chicken wing,
So
okay.
I'm a chicken wing girl, and the reason why I don't eat a lot of different things that's on the menu is because if I taste it, I'm gonna want it to be different.
Oh, yeah.
So you, the customer, you like it a way.
Yeah.
Ashley likes it another way.
That's fair.
So
Yeah.
I think to kind of counteract that, I just stick with what I really like is the
Totally.
chicken wings.
So what's your opinion on
Makes me wish I would have ordered chicken wings. It's okay though.
well, Malajah, she recommended the seafood platter,
Right, yeah.
the conch and shrimp, and then she's like, oysters are good. And then we wanted
The
another.
oysters were good,
And she
though.
goes, well, Philly salmon's really popular.
That is a popular here.
And we go, you know what? Let's go for it. And it was it was so good.
The salmon Philly is popular here. That was another brainchild of mine, a cousin. So we're gonna
Hey, cuz.
continue. Exactly,
Yeah.
we're gonna continue with the same cycle of cousin.
Okay.
A cousin calls like, "Hey, I want something, but I don't want it fried."
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
So she gave me the opportunity to create something.
Totally.
Right.
And that was what I created, was a salmon Philly. I've never had one myself, but they love it, so I let
Just keep it the way
keep
it
it the way
is.
it is.
Totally.
Keep it the way
Yeah.
it is. What I want people to know about Hey Cuz is it's a place for everybody.
Okay.
And I feel like any place in America now needs that.
Yeah.
A place for everybody. Darien is a small town filled with a lot of love from people who just moved here or the people who've been here for years.
Right.
And I believe once we start encompassing that in general, then Hey Cuz will be not a restaurant. It'll be a way of living.
Yeah.
Because now we're everybody's family.
Yeah,
And
totally.
we treat everybody as such. And I think
Everyone was so, I don't know who was in here, but everyone was excited that
Yeah.
whoever walked through that door, they're like, hey, like,
because my whole thing when we first started was, hey cuz.
Yeah.
Answer the phone, hey cuz, how you doing?
yeah.
It's just like when you go to Chick-fil-A, my pleasure.
Yeah.
You wait for that. That's the feeling that you get with them.
Or welcome to Mo. I love going to Mo's. Then
Welcome to
whole stuff.
Mo's. Yeah. So everybody's cheering that one thing, and that's what Hey Cuz embodies. That's what Ashley embodies.
Yeah.
Because you should not feel like you're a stranger
Yeah.
with me right now.
Or
You
just
should-
a customer.
Right. You should feel like, I like Ashley.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing? Like,
Yeah.
if you tell me you have 4 kids and a dog, next time I see you, how are your 4 kids and your dog?
Yeah, definitely.
So
I love that.
Hey Cuz should exemplify my life.
Totally. Yeah,
All
I
the time.
love that.
Ashley should exemplify Hey Cuz. So.
Yeah.
I always consider the consumer in mind when I do my pricing. Although I am losing, but it's your family to me.
Yeah.
And I want you to be able to come out and eat and enjoy it. So
So you've lived in Darien, the area, your whole life. Tell us about the Altamaha River and what lives in it, if anything.
And if you believe
if you
that
don't,
something lives in it.
So
You can
I've
be completely
heard
honest.
I've heard stories about it.
Okay.
I have a lot of people who've worked on the boat, and they'll say, "Yeah, such and such, or some crazy thing happened." I'm like, maybe you were drunk.
Yeah, yeah.
I've never seen them. I've, of course, been here all my life.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't think it's not real.
Do you spend a lot of time on the water?
We not with the business, not right now.
Totally. Yeah.
But
As a
when
kid, did you?
But
We did.
But you've
Okay.
been on it, yeah.
Yeah, so we've swim we swimming in the river. Downtown, you used to get to swim. Now it's a little more brackish, so it's kind of like it's more dangerous.
Do you think that's a synchronicity, or do you think that's kind of like maybe ties into the lore? Do you think it's a story?
What if- What if Altie was how they got here?
Oh, snap!
You didn't think about that, did you?
I did not
I
think
didn't
about
What
that.
if he was powering the boat? What if he was the guy that was guiding them to this place?
I don't-
You're settling here.
Did you just make that up, or is
I
that?
did. I just made that up.
I love that. I love that.
What if Altie was the person that said, "Hey," they were like, "Hey, we're training them to take us from here to there."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I'm not gonna be able to stop thinking about
You
that.
need to that's gonna be your art piece for this conversation.
Yes.
Is Altie pulling or
Right.
pushing?
Yeah.
Pushing her, pulling her.
Because they talk about the wake that he makes when
And
he
it's a big,
when he
big-
swims.
yeah, 'cause-
and that's amazing. Yeah, I just learned about the connection. We were talking about it on the way here, and I go, oh well, that's a new rabbit hole to go down.
So I don't dispel it,
No,
but
yeah,
it's
exactly.
think about we don't know. It's a lot of unknowns that
Yeah.
we don't know. And what if Altie was really friendly and he just loved
Well, and that's the one thing. One of the story, like most of the encounters that I've been reading about.
Would you say "Hey, cuz" to Altie?
Yeah. Absolutely. Is Altie my cousin? Like,
A lot of reports describe his head similar to that to an alligator, kind of like diamond shape. One reported kind of like a giant snake. But for some reason, I always pictured it alligator-like too.
So if you see like a diamond-shaped head in the water, are you paddling towards it, or are you paddling?
No, because I'll just admire it from afar in case it's Altie, but I don't mess with snakes. I don't mess with gators.
What if it was like a bigger diamond, bigger than a snake? Like might be a gator, but could be Altie.
I don't mess with gators.
Next time you pass through the Peach State, detour just south of Strange and experience the heart Ashley puts into Hey Cuz, and come face to face with Altie at the Visitor Center. Who knows? Spend a little time on the Altamaha, and maybe you can report a sighting of your own.